Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today I want to talk to you about how to create a presentation. I talked briefly yesterday to third block or fourth block about colors and that type of thing. So I'm not going to mention that right now other than to say it should be very apparent when you look at your screen. The text, we should have no problem seeing that. So you want to avoid a lot of different colors. And if you use a light background like this, you want to use a dark text. What I really want to talk to you about here is your parenthetical citations. And I've created another video to talk about parenthetical citations, and I've referenced that in the manual. So look at that video directly if you want to talk about parenthetical citations. This is about creating your presentation in Google Slides and understanding how to actually do your citations. So if you look here, I've got a student's presentation, and this was about the Iranian Revolution. This was his initial question: how did the revolution impact Iranian society? And this is his thesis statement. Okay. And he gives an overview like on the first slide, and then he goes into his information. Now, if you notice here, he has bullets, and this page is not overloaded, and that's good because you don't want to make the text too small so the people in the back of the room can't see it, and you don't want to overload your slide. So this is a perfect amount of text on this slide, and he could probably even add a little bit of spacing in between the bullets. But if you look here, this is what I want to talk about. So he took information. I know this for sure, okay, and possibly this right here. So all of this information he took from a card. And if you notice here, he's got an author's last name and page numbers where he got this information from. What you do is you take your note card, you put it in front of you. Of course, you're following your outline. You have your card in front of you. You type it on the paper or the presentation slide, and then you look at the number on the slide. Let's say this was number 3. So he has to look at source card 3, find out what the first name or title of an article was on that, and then he's going to type that information here. Now, I told you the smart way to do it. Remember, I'm not afraid of hard work, but I'm also going to work smart. So let's say I type all this information on here. I find out that it came from card 3, or I know it came from card 3. So I look at card 3 and I see it's O'Shea. So I go to my works cited page, and all I have to do is I copy O'Shea, go back to my presentation, paste it right here, and then put the page numbers. Same thing from here. He took information from a card. Let's say this was card number 1. He took information from card number 1. He looks at source card number 1, finds out, oh, that's Wagner. Let me go back. I copy that. And then he can go in and just paste the citation right here within his parentheses. And remember, the period always goes after the citation. So before your parenthetical citation, you are not going to add a period. You add it after. Okay? So let's go on to another slide. If you notice, all of this information right here, this whole entire slide seems to have come from O'Shea. So he hasn't gone in and added O'Shea here and O'Shea here. He's waited, and he has it down at the bottom of the slide, and that's perfectly fine. So if you have your entire slide comes from one source, you can just slide it down at the very bottom. Same thing here. Same thing here. Here he has 2 different page numbers, if you notice. So he's used the last name and the page number there, and the last name, page number there. Okay? And this conclusion slide, this is all Ben's own words. He does have the image cited, and I'll talk to you about how to do that later. But right now, you get the idea. And then his last slide should be his works cited page, which you basically have gone to your works cited page, copied it, and pasted it right into his presentation, his Google Slides. Okay, that's all for this video. If you have any questions, you know where to reach me.